Let's incite a riot. Hi guys, my name is Vivien Reis and I want to help you write, publish, and market your novel. Today, we're talking about a very important part of your story, the inciting incident. I'm going to talk about two things here, pretty much two things. What is an inciting incident and where should it be in your novel? I have sort of 8, they're not tips, they're not facts, they're just kind of like, I don't even know what to call it. 8 things, in my opinion, that are true about inciting incidents. There you go. Before you click off of this video thinking that you already have the basics down, I think that it's important that we're all on the same page now with a good foundation, because inciting incidents is something that I'm going to talk about again in the future in greater detail. I have another video idea coming up that I want to do on it. All right, let's jump in. Item number one, I don't know what to call it. An inciting incident is what takes your main character from a life of ease to a life of pain and anguish. Maybe not that dramatic, but it's what interrupts their normal, ordinary daily life, and it pushes them outside their comfort zone towards something they wouldn't ordinarily do. Your character won't really be comfortable again until the end of your story, if that. So before the inciting incident, I seriously feel like I'm going to say that a million times during this video, inciting incident. An inciting incident doesn't always have to be bad. It doesn't have to lead to a life of pain and anguish for your character, but it has to be something that's out of the ordinary, and it has to be something big enough to push them to go into this life outside of their little bubble. Number 2, the inciting incident is the divide from one circumstance of living for your character to another. In a romance novel, this could be when the character's partner says that they want to file for a divorce, or in a fantasy, this could be when your character gets charged with murder and then they have to go on the run in a spaceship. Like I said, this event isn't always a negative thing, but it does move your character into a whirlwind of what's to come in your novel. Number 3, it's also important that this event happen to your protagonist. Whatever it is, it has to happen to your protagonist. Your protagonist should have a more proactive role throughout the rest of your story, but when the story just begins, the inciting incident is something that comes from the outside. So it comes from outside your character. Your character doesn't choose that inciting incident. So something happens or someone else does something to bring about this event. Your character will certainly react to the inciting incident, but your protagonist is not the catalyst that sets it in motion. So now that we have a basic understanding of an II, try not to say inciting incident 10,000 times. Number 4, because I know a lot of you are concerned about structure, let's take a general statement here and just throw it at every story in the world. That's not how things actually happen, but I'm just going to go for it. It should happen sooner rather than later. Post-inciting incident is really where we see your character for who they are, problems are thrown at them, and then we get to see what type of person they are based on their reactions. So if this doesn't happen fast enough, your inciting incident, you risk losing the interest of the reader. The inciting incident marks the beginning of your plot. So everything that happens before it is usually the origin story for your character or some sort of backstory. We get to see where your character is starting out, so we better understand them, but not much happens until after the inciting incident where the meat of the story is. Number 5, that said, your I feel so stupid saying that, is not usually the first thing that happens, and it's not the hook. An inciting incident is something that should pique your reader's interest, just like a hook, and it can happen simultaneous to the hook, but typically a hook is something about the character that the character already knows, and the inciting incident is something new to both the character and to the reader. Number 6, the inciting incident introduces the conflict of your plot, and it pushes your character to make a choice. They either stay in their life of ordinary, or they choose for their own reasons to go down this new path. The protagonist has to react to the inciting incident. They have to make that choice. If you think something is your inciting incident, but your character's not making a choice. Number 7, I generally hate to use definitions in any of my videos, but let's get the definition of inciting out of the way in the hopes that it sparks a creative genius. I am so sorry for my voice. I don't know what's wrong with it. To incite is to encourage or stir up. And some of the synonyms are to ignite, to inspire, to provoke. So when trying to identify the inciting incident in your story or just to come up with one when you're plotting, try to use one of these synonyms as a question. Pose it as a question. What event might inspire or provoke your protagonist into blank? So insert your main goal of your story here. Looking at it this way, your climax and your inciting incident are connected. The climax addresses the goal your protagonist is working toward the entire time, and the inciting incident is the thing that pushed your character toward that goal, that made them make that decision to choose the goal as their goal. Number 8, don't settle for a sad inciting incident. And I mean sad as in not of good quality, I guess. I know the big question here is, how do you write a good or a decent inciting incident? There's an infinite number of possibilities, so I cannot give you a concrete answer for your story, but I can tell you it should serve as a secondary hook for your reader. So you should make it surprising or dramatic or scary, which is my favorite. This is not a place that you should skip out on the flair here. Don't let your story start with a limp punch to the arm. You want to start it with a roundhouse kick to the gut. Getting a little carried away here. All right, that's all I have for today. Don't forget to comment down below with your video suggestions. Check out my time management program for writers called Dreamer to Doer. You can use the code ILA30 for 30% off until June 5th, which is like soon. Oh my God, she's gonna be 3 months old soon. Oh my gosh, just calm down. Calm down. She's growing up way too fast. If you want bonus content like a case studies video on inciting incidents, coming your way soon. Check out my Happy Writing community on Patreon. Hopefully I'll have that video filmed and up within the next couple days. We'll see what baby girl lets me do. All right, I gotta go get my sleeping baby. So as always, happy writing. I hope I can do this. Okay. I'm like, try not to whisper. Let's turn this down. I have her baby monitor. I'm gonna see if I can like prop it up somewhere so I can watch her. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, she's starting to move. She